something important to understand about how the Freemasons, Skull and Bones, all the insecure men that say, oh no, we're just part of a male dominated society that helps its own, but really aren't. Who you're really against is Jesus. You really are. You just don't want to admit it. I mean, that's what the Catholic Church created itself for. It hated Jesus. I know they say that oh, Jesus. But I mean, they didn't know Jesus enough at the Vatican to realize that Jesus was bringing women up to equal status. He showed it in everything he did. That has been the fear. Again, it's the curse, because it's the ego. So let's just look at how it all goes, even to your CIA. Oh. And why it seems that when Trump came into office, oh, they just started going out more. And here's what is ironic, okay? There's this war between the millennial Gen Z against the baby boomers. Well, you baby boomers were all part of these secret societies. Yeah. And now a bunch of Gen Zers or millennials are getting pulled into it. God's saying, yeah, nobody's really learning the lesson here. Okay, so let's see. Strikingly, Freemasonry has no politics rule inside the lodge. To keep members from it's to keep members from fighting. However, Masons are people with their own views, and Trump's presidency has caused significant debate among them for several reasons. Some Masons are critical of Donald Trump because they feel his personal conduct and public rhetoric clash with the core Masonic virtues they are sworn to uphold. What virtues? I love how everything I read about this is they instill morality. What morality? What moral compass? None. Make all the excuses you want. You're too insecure to look inside yourself. You're too obsessed with controlling the world, and this video will just prove it. Brotherly love and harmony. Many members feel that Trump's polarizing political style goes against the Masonic goal of uniting men of every country and sect and opinion. That's what it's about. We must unite the men. Women stay out. Do you see how juvenile this is? This was the curse that God was talking about at the beginning, when he said to Adam and he said to Cain, you'd curse the earth. Integrity and temperance. Some Masons have expressed disappointment that the group would historically reject any applicant who spoke or acted the way Trump does, yet many current members support him. This has caused internal rifts, leading some older past masters to even leave their lodges in protest. The globalist versus nationalist divide. Historically, Freemasonry is an internationalist and enlightened-based organization. I don't think you're very enlightened when you don't want to follow the path of Jesus. I know it's a free country, free world, follow what you want, but I think it's hypocritical to say you're enlightened when really you don't want to be enlightened like Jesus. The value, universal brotherhood in a world without borders in a spiritual sense. Trump's America First and nationalist policy are seen by Masons as the opposite of their globalist philosophy. But see, even the ones that are the American First, what do you notice about them? They want women to be quiet. It's the curse. It's the curse. Pray, it's the curse. God will tell you. Anti-Masonic movements in history, which some compare to the modern MAGA movement, viewed Masons as the secret global elites who were working against the interests of the common man. The anti-elite sentiment. There is historical irony here. For centuries, populists, like many in Trump's base, have been the ones who hated Freemasons, viewing them as a secret deep state of their time. Well, they are. The CIA developed because of these groups. They did. In the 1820s, the Anti-Masonic Party, the first third party in the United States, was formed because people thought Masons were a secret oligarchy that controlled the government. Today, some of the strongest anti-establishment voices see Freemasonry as part of a very swamp, the very swamp that Trump promised to drain. Norman Vincent Peale was a 33-degree Mason. You know, he was the writer of The Power of Positive Thinking. He was the pastor to Trump's Prosperity Church. 33 degree. I mean, So let's just look, because what stems from this system is all your other ones. The feeder system to power. Campus societies aren't just for parties, they are professional pipelines. The tapping process. At schools like Yale, home to Skull and Bones, Scroll and Key, members are tapped in their junior year. This selection process is often based on family lineage, athletic prowess, or perceived future greatness. Once you're in for life, if a bonesman is hiring for a hedge fund or a law firm 20 years later, he is statistically much more likely to hire a fellow member. This creates a closed loop of wealth that women are legally barred from entering for over a century. See, and women shouldn't fight to want to be a part of these groups. Why would you want to be around these men? Ooh, ick. No. Because these groups operate without university oversight, many are underground or own their own off-campus property. They often foster a culture that can be toxic, the old world mentality. Many of these clubs were founded on the idea of muscular Christianity. Oh, like the whole, did you see that? I mean, how many times do we have to watch RFK Jr. do push-ups in his jeans and without a shirt? Like, this is that masculinity bullshit movement. Or a Victorian era male dominance. This often translates into a culture that views women as guests or social accessories. Social accessories rather than peers. The secrecy isn't just about fun rituals, it's about protection. If a member gets into legal trouble or behaves inappropriately, the brothers are sworn to protect one another, which can lead to a lack of accountability. That's how they can mess with you locally, because they know at all levels they have people that will protect them. Many of these societies own tombs, windowless, massive stone buildings in the middle of campus that no one else can enter. The tide, let's see, wait here. The all-male holdouts. Even today, several elite clubs at Harvard and Princeton have fought legal battles for years to keep women out, arguing that as private clubs, they have a right to freedom of association. Yeah, women don't fight to be in these clubs. You should not want to be around men like this. They are not men that have insight. They are just men that have their asses so attached to controlling the world that they don't represent any moral compass at all. Why would you want to be around men like that? And then when looking at elite campus society, it becomes clear that there aren't just social clubs. They are starting blocks for the world's most powerful people. The members of these groups go on to run global economies, lead nations, and define the cultural landscape. I mean, Skull and Bones. William Howard Taft, the 27th U.S. President, was Chief in Justice. George H.W. Bush, George Bush Jr., Taft, the only person to lead both executive and judicial branches. Obviously, Bush Sr. was shaped foreign policy during the Cold War. He was part of the CIA. And then his son was led the U.S. throughout the aftermath of 9/11 and the Iraq War. John Kerry, literally, it's the second term of Bush Jr. running. Who he ran against, they were both in Skull and Bones at the same time. That's who you voted for. Talk about, there is no lesser of two evils there. But he was the U.S. Secretary of State. Henry Luntz, founder of Time Life Fortune. Steve Mnuchin, former U.S. Treasury Secretary. Stephen Schwarzman. It goes on and on, okay? I mean, former CEO of Blackstone. All of them obsessed with their male-dominated I mean, misogyny